We are live. Day 2 of streaming this weekend. Only stream of the day, since I'm going to be out for Super League games later. So, hopefully, this is a decent game. Hopefully it's an exciting enough stream. There was a lot more people in it already starting yesterday, so we will see. Current scoreline for Panthers vs Newcastle Knights is 48-12 to the Panthers. Knights are in range of scoring though. They've got 5 minutes left in that game. There's a chance that my game's going to be slightly behind. I don't know how far behind, but slightly. But there is a poll in the live stream chat. If you've got a vote on who you think is going to win, let me know your thoughts. Where are you watching the game in the UK? That's a great question. I'm watching it off official media. Watch NRL. Unfortunately, not every game's on Sky, which is a bit of a bummer. It would be nice if it was. But I've gone with the Raiders to win this one. Morning, Alex. Good to see you. I went with the... What's that, a website? Yeah, if you just basically search Watch NRL, it's a subscription thing. It's like their Super League Plus. Moaning, gorgeous, moaning. Why are we so curious about what Super League game this would be, Alex? I would say this is probably Wigan versus Wakefield. Something like that. So I'll do a quick run through of the team list now, and I'll do another one before we start. I've got about 13 minutes until kickoff. So in the backs for the Raiders, they have Weeks, Stewart, Timoko, Chris, Savage, Strange and Fogarty. The forwards include Papali'i, Starling, Tarpany, Young, Hosking and Horsburgh. The bench includes Patty, Sasagi, Smithies and Mariota, and Martin is the 18th man. For the Seagulls, in the backs they have Tom Trbojevic, Saab, Kula, Talau, Garrick, Brooks and Cherry Evans. The forwards include Lodge, Simkin, Takiaho, Waddell, Cheekham and Jake Trbojevic. The bench has Tavanga, who's off to Wakefield next year, Sharp, Bullimore and Sipley, who's off to Warrington next year, and Navale is the 18th man. So comparing it to Super League helps understand the power levels. Yeah, Raiders are one of the best teams in the league, and the Seagulls have a great squad all round, but they could probably be doing better than with the squad that they've got, I guess is a fair assessment, I think. Ready for tonight's hammering? Oh yeah. Wigan's going to get absolutely destroyed, aren't they? We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It might be surprising. You never know. You just never know. But yeah, if you guys have a vote, let me know in the live stream chat. There's a poll up there. And if you've got an exact score prediction, let me know as well. I can't remember what I went with personally. I need to have a gander. I'll go through the notes. So it looks like I'm getting Panthers 13 plus. That's a good one. Are you going to the game tonight? Yes, Megan. I will be going to the game at the Halliwell Jones. Yeah, it would be great if more games were on Sky. If all NRL games were on Sky, that would actually be decent. Because that way they could actually have a dedicated Rugby League channel. Because you get all the NRL games, all the Super League games. You never have to... You can organise it so that you never have to have a clash. We could easily change... Like, they play 8 games and there's not one clash. So we could easily do the same. Easily. So, why we don't, I don't know. Warrington's playing Wigan tonight. So, notes for this game. I'll just run through what I had and then give you my score prediction as well. So, the Raiders have won 4 in their last 5. The Seagulls have won 3 in their last 5. Both lost in the last round, but for the Raiders it was certainly unexpected. For plate availability, Manly will be without Ben Trebojevic and Lehigh Hopewarte. So Tom Trebojevic moves to fullback and Tommy Talau will join the backline at centre. For the Raiders, they've got no major changes to worry about from last week because after the last round, it could be a positive because after the last round they'll want to get back to winning ways as soon as possible and back on track. Now these sides played way back in round 3. The Seagulls won 40-12, but I think these sides have changed a lot since then. And there's still a lot of trust in the Raiders even after the loss because they went on a massive win streak and they've been a reliable side this year. I think with the changes in the backline for Manly, it could be disruptive, but given that they've only put up 4 points for 2 games in a row and conceded 60 plus points across those 2 games, maybe a slight change will help. It's wishful thinking, but it's not reliable thinking, but you never know. The Raiders are still a very dangerous side on both sides of the ball. The defence could do with some improvement. I think the Seagulls do have weapons that could do damage this week, but the Raiders' attack might be the main difference in this one. The Raiders have won 9 out of 10 games at home this season, but the Seagulls have won 9 of their past 12 games at GIO Stadium. But for this occasion, one side is capable of going on a major win streak and putting points on the board, while the others scored 8 points in 2 games. I don't think Manly will score so few points again this week, but it's more about trust in scoring capabilities. So I've gone with the Raiders to win 1-12 with a scoreline of 28-16, and I've gone with anytime try scorer for Matthew Timoko. Why can beat Wigan? Why can beat Wigan? You think 24-22 to Wyatt? I just messed up my words there. Lovely. This could be a quiet stream. We had plenty of people in here yesterday, but this could be a very quiet one. Which I don't normally like. This is why I don't like doing NRL games, because even though sometimes they could be a lot more interesting, there's not that many people in here, which just makes it a bit, I don't know, it's less enjoyable. Hello, Alexa. Welcome back. Yeah, it's just sometimes less enjoyable, you get less people. It's always nice when the regulars show up. But, yeah. It sometimes feels like a bit of a grind when you're doing a stream and no one else is here. Like, no one's talking. Yes, you're commentating, but it's almost like it feels kind of pointless. Well, hopefully this is a good game. It's a good game on paper. Can't watch any Rugby League for 3 weeks. You're going away? Oh, nice. Where are you going to? Where are you off to? I remember when I went to... the only one I'm watching is Wigan KR. Oh, right, okay. I remember when I was in Turkey last year for a family wedding, but I was adamant about watching Warrington versus Wigan. That was the week before the Challenge Cup final, actually, when Warrington rested a bunch of players. No, Wigan rested some as well, but Warrington rested a bunch, so I was adamant on watching the game. So I was in Turkey in my hotel room. Sun is shining. Everyone's out having fun. I'm watching Warrington. But I enjoyed the game. So. Not saying, okay, mysterious. Mysterious. I wasn't asking for an exact location, by the way. But, mysterious. So we've got 6 minutes to go. So I'll keep that there. If you guys have got an exact score prediction, let me know your thoughts. We've got 17 votes, 76% say that the Raiders are going to win. I do think they should be okay in this one, but I know the Seagulls can make it tricky. So, is it full-time in the other game as well? I think it might be. Yeah, full-time, Newcastle Knights 12, Penrith Panthers 48. So I got the 13 plus there. So I've got the two winners so far. Had Storm 1-12. That could have happened, but they lost out on Reynolds and Mam early on. And then Panthers 13 plus. That's all Gucci. Lovely stuff. I'd like another 8 out of 8. Not had one for a while. But yeah, what did I say again for the score? 28-16 to the Raiders. Stream highlights of yesterday's NRL game is up on TikTok, as well as the stream highlights from Lee vs Leeds. I think the Storm Broncos one kind of flopped a little bit, to be honest. Yeah, there's already more views in an hour or so on one video than there was for a whole day on another. Shocking that. So we've got a few minutes to go. Players lining up in the tunnel. They'll be coming out very shortly. See how the Seagulls get on, because they've only put up, like I said, 4 points in the last two games, like 8 points across the two. Well, some jazzy looking kids here for the Indigenous round. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, the Raiders, I think their biggest weakness will be defence. Just consistency in either, do they show up in the first half or the second? Can they show up in both halves? But yeah, defence for the Raiders. Can the Seagulls find more points this week? I think they can do. But defensively, they've had some major lapses recently. So we've got 2 minutes to go. Players are coming out. We will have a quick opening ceremony for Indigenous round. It'll just take a couple minutes. First trumpet of the stream. Let's get it in there. Apparently it's freezing over there. Apparently. Right, I will do a final run through of the squads. And of course, if you're unable to watch the game, we've got any questions, do just ask away and I will do my best to answer them. I'm going to have to use 2 different tabs for the YouTube stream and for the game, so I'll have to come back to the stream. How are you watching the game? I'm watching it on... hello, Fred. I'm watching it on Watch NRL. Which is like their Super League Plus. You can always try and Google certain websites to find it for free, but I would not recommend that. So, the lineups include, for the Raiders, in the backs they have Weeks, Stewart, Timoko, Chris, Savage, Strange and Fogarty. In the forwards they have Papali'i, Starling, Tarpany, Young, Hosking and Horsburgh. On the bench they have Patty, Sasagi, Smithies, and Mariota. Martin is the 18th man. For the Seagulls, in the backs they have Tom Trbojevic, Saab, Kula, Talau, Garrick, Brooks and Cherry Evans. In the forwards is Lodge, Simpkin, Tagiaho, Waddell, Cheekham and Jake Trbojevic. On the bench is Tavanga, Shop, Bullymore and Sipley. Navale is the 18th man. So, for Super League fans in here, Jazz Tavanga will be going to Wakefield next year and Toa Sipley will be going to Warrington next year. So if anyone's watching them, just keep an eye out on their performances. So this could be a quality game. The Seagulls beat the Raiders earlier in the season, 40-12, but we'll see how it goes. Fred says come on the Raiders. Okay. Alright then. He's picked his side. Actually, I'm just thinking, I could always bring the stream up on my phone. That might be easier that way. If I bring it up on my phone, I can read the chat there and I don't have to worry about switching tabs. Jazzy has an error or two in him, but he's all heart and mongrel. All right, very nice, very very nice. No, I'll keep switching back. I'll just keep switching back. It's okay. Don't want to read it on like small text constantly. That'll be a bit annoying. Right, about to get underway any second now. But thank you for the clarification on him as a player. I'll end this poll now. Most of you say the Raiders are going to win. So, here we go. Savage, underneath it, will hand the ball off to Josh Papali'i for the first carry of this game. Starling, at dummy half, hands the ball off to Hosking. Still kind of stuck on the 10 right now, so a bit of work for the Raiders to do. Now Joseph Tarpany. So the Seagulls, early on, first few tackles, doing a good job of keeping them pinned back. Horsburgh, Big Red with the next carry over the 20. Getting the ball out of danger slightly. This is not too bad now. Fourth tackle. Hudson Young through the middle. 35 metres out from their own try line. Last tackle coming up. They go out the back to Fogarty. Hits the belly of the ball. Plenty of distance on this one. Could be tricky to take. Bounces once. And again. And then pops up nicely for Ruben Garrick. One of my favourites, by the way, Ruben Garrick. I think he's a hell of a player and a hell of a professional as well. Big fan. So the Seagulls, decent defensive set to start. Jason Saab with that next carry. Simpkin will hand it off to Talau for the next carry. Coming up towards our own 40. Next carry from Matt Lodge. So they could be inside Raiders territory very shortly. Simpkin on his right to Waddell. Inside the Raiders half now with the last tackle coming up, minute and a half gone. They could try and pin the Raiders into the corners again here. Brooks on the last. Plenty of height on this one. Weeks underneath it. Collects it cleanly just in front of the try line. And recovers it over the 10. Plays it for Chris. He'll hand the ball off to Stewart. Up towards the 20. So let's see if the Seagulls can keep them pinned back or if the Raiders can work the ball up the field slightly better this time around. But 2 minutes gone. Third tackle coming up for the Raiders. Kyle Weeks with Sebastian Chris on his left. Carries the ball up towards their own 40 with 2 more tackles in this set. Starling on his right to Horsburgh. A little bit slow on that carry there, but there's an offload. Now in the hands of Hudson Young down the left edge. Now with Sebastian Chris. Inside Raiders territory. Sorry, Seagulls territory. And the Raiders will get to the last tackle. Ethan Strange. Kicks down the short side left towards the back left side. Tom Trebojevic underneath it takes it cleanly. And he's brought down just in front of his own 10. So, better there on that set from the Raiders. Swinging field position slightly. Brooks hands the ball off to Jason Saab. Then across to Ruben Garrick. They're going for an early shift here. Tolu Kula trying to get around the outside of Xavier Savage. He's got the legs, I think. Tolu Kula is through. He is absolutely rapid. Kicks the ball through. Tom Trebojevic is there. So is Saab. What a try. What an exquisite try from the Seagulls. Mate, I thought Xavier Savage was quick. I knew that Cooler was quick. But he's just burnt Xavier Savage. He's burnt him round the outside. That is a beautiful try. Garrick to Cooler. Burns him. Just burns him. Oh, nice. And then a great kick as well. Time to kind of size that one up. Beautifully done. What an opening try. That's going to be 6-0 for the Seagulls because it's right in front of the sticks as well. Interesting. Interesting. Well then. Early points for Manly. So they're already about to achieve more points than they've done in the last 2 weeks in a row. Wow. The fact that that was on Xavier Savage, as I was saying on commentary, the fact it was Xavier Savage, it's not just some slouch on the wing or some kid that's got no experience or someone that's maybe you wouldn't associate with that much speed even as a winger, but that's Xavier Savage. And there we go, 6-0 for Manly, confirmed. Ruben Garrick adding on the extras. That's a great start. That's a great start. So that's 4.5 minutes gone. The Seagulls coming out with a bit of pace. Bit of intent. I like it. I'd still like the Raiders to win for my predictions, but I like the intent. So we're back underway. The Raiders kick towards the back right for the Seagulls. Brooks underneath it. Matt Lodge with a decent carry. Up towards the 20. Anthony Searbold will be happy with that start. And it's going to be a penalty for the Seagulls as well to do a little bit more damage. Matt Lodge is a massive geezer. He is massive. So you're already conceding a try 5 minutes in, and then you give away a penalty. You can't be doing that. So penalty, kick into touch from the Manly Seagulls. They'll start a fresh set from the halfway line. Cooler will tap. And carries it just towards the 40. Brooks over on the left-hand side. On his right then to Cheekam. Simpkin at dummy half just short the 30 will go on his right to Jake Trbojevic. Now Cherry Evans. Caught a dead end there, but skips back towards the left. Gets an offload for Takiaho. Carries it over the 30. Plays it quickly for Simpkin. Goes down the short side left to Brooks. Steps off his left. Steps again. He's stopped just short of the 10. 2 more tackles to go for Manly here. They could hit double digits in a second. Back towards the middle with Lodge. Shifting it right. Cherry Evans across to Tom Trbojevic. Now with Talau. Saab will move to dummy half real quick over on the right-hand side of the field. Back towards the middle with Cherry Evans. Kicks towards the sticks. Collected by Starling. Is tackled in goal. So that's going to be a goal line dropout. It's very close. It looked like it was on the try line. Is it worth a challenge? I don't think so. I wouldn't waste one. Just go for a short dropout. But well done, Tom Starling. Shutting that one down. Well, he's tackled in goal. Just want to watch rugby? Well, a few more hours. Just a few more hours to go. So Fogarty will go with a long dropout here. Goes over the halfway line, close towards the 40. And Lodge will take this carry in into Papali'i and Horsburgh. 7 minutes gone. Most of the momentum for the Seagulls right now. Next carry from Siasiwa Takiaho up towards the 30. Simpkin in centre field will go left to Brooks. Out the back to Tom Trbojevic. Might have the numbers on the left side. Cooler across to Garrick. On the 10, gets an offload for Cooler as well. Still shifting. Can he get an offload? He's going to be stopped 4 or 5 metres out from the try line. 3 more tackles to go in this set. Simpkin over on the left at dummy half. On his right to Cherry Evans. Now Jake Trebojevic. Luke Brooks. Pops it up to Waddell. Stopped 8 metres short of the try line. Right at the posts. Simpkin on his left to Matt Lodge. The ball comes loose and it's collected by Kel Weeks. Hands the ball off to Sebastian Chris and takes it over the 10. So a bit of relief there for the Raiders. That's huge because they are dealing with a lot of pressure right now. So they just need to get into the back and forth. Be clean, be clinical in possession. And it's going to be a penalty for the Raiders. So major relief for Canberra. Major relief. Just need to be clinical from the Seagulls if they wanted to maintain pressure. But no, they give away a penalty to let the Raiders off. That could be fatal. It could be fatal. We will see. Get some glasses. I do have glasses, just not upstairs at the moment. Chris will tap and give it to Strange. It's now with Fogarty, and the stream has stopped for me. We're back underway, thank God for that. Starling in centre field, on his left to Horsburgh. Gets an offload for Joseph Tarpany, now back to Starling. Eats up a few more metres towards the halfway line. Plenty of tackles to go in this set as well, it's only the second. Just about to hit 9 minutes as well. Papali'i inside Seagulls territory. So the Raiders, after 9 minutes, should be in their best field position of the game so far soon. Down the right-hand side with Weeks, up towards the 30. Now the fourth tackle, Starling over on the right, goes short side right to Matthew Timoko. Eating up the metres, Matthew Timoko still going, stopped just short of the 10. Decent carry there, last tackle for the Raiders. Plays for Starling over on the right, back towards the middle with Fogarty. Kicks cross field or chips towards the sticks. We have a contest, and it is won by, well, nobody. Goes over the dead ball line. Is this going to be a dropout? It is going to be a goal line dropout. Strange is kind of, sort of walking a bit awkwardly. Or we're not walking awkwardly, but he's holding his wrist or arm in a weird way. I hope he's alright. They just mentioned shoulder. That's not good. So Brooks will go with a short dropout. Makes it towards the 20. Stewart collects it on the full and he stopped 25 metres out from the try line. 30 minutes to go in this half, so that's 10 minutes gone so far in this game. Hudson Young with the first carry over the 20. Plays it for Starling in centre field. On his right to Corey Horsburgh. Now Josh Papali'i. Stopped about 13 or 14 metres out from the try line. Third tackle for the Raiders. Starling right at centre field, goes left to Fogarty. Fakes the switch back, then hands it off to Strange. He's going to run it himself. Ethan Strange is a star of the future. Honestly, he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. If he makes it in the Australia squad this year, I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think he will be, unfortunately. Ethan Strange is a hell of a player, but that's a try for the Raiders. So, finally, with some decent field position, penalty from the Seagulls. First proper attacking set here for the Raiders, inside the red zone. Ethan Strange. Tommy Talau is locked in to his centre and winger. Gets past Cherry Evans and they're in. I think a woman just got elbowed in the crowd. Accidentally, of course. Who's your NRL Grand Final favourites? I'm still going to say the Raiders and Panthers. Raiders and Panthers. I suppose it depends on playoffs and how it all works out. But my top three, Raiders. I think the top four that should make it to the Grand Final would be the Raiders, Storm, Panthers, and Bulldogs. I think there's an outside chance for the Broncos, but it depends on their injuries. There's an outside chance for the Dolphins. I think there's a very slim chance for the Sharks, but the four that I mentioned should be fine for the Grand Final. So Fogarty to make it 6-all, 12 minutes gone, and it is good. There we go, 6-all. You'd love the Bulldogs to make it. It'd be a hell of an atmosphere if the Bulldogs got in. After all the, the work they've been doing over the last couple of years, the lows that they've had, having a great year. Plus, they can certainly take a big crowd. So that definitely would be a good atmosphere. Saints for the Super League Grand Final, obviously. Ooh, I don't know. Your defence is Grand Final worthy, but your attack not so much right now. But there's still time for improvement. Saints absolutely have Grand Final defence. And if Saints could make it to the Grand Final on their defence alone, but if you're playing KR at a certain point, if you're playing Wigan, if you're playing Leeds again, even though you've won twice already, your defence would have to be elite. Which it can be, but it has got to be on it every time. So I think Saints could make the Grand Final just on the defence, but the attack might let them down. So the Raiders back in possession. Third tackle. Hudson Young down the left edge up towards the 40. 2 more tackles in this set. Starling at dummy half. On his right to Papali'i. Potential high shot. Calls from the crowd. And the referee will say he agrees that it is a high shot and a penalty for the Raiders. So there we go. Twice in a row, the Raiders conceded and then gave away a penalty off the return set. And then the Seagulls did it themselves. Conceded and then gave away a penalty. So a little bit of ill discipline in this game so far, causing it to be back and forth. Again, for a score, I said 28-16 to Canberra. Sebastian Chris will tap and take it up towards the 20. Fresh set inside the red zone for the Raiders. Starling on the left edge will go right to Strange. Kel Weeks on the right hand side, off to Matthew Timoko. Has support if he wants to use it. Gets it to Savage in the corner. The Raiders, they're so good at moving the ball around. In the short spaces, support runners. The Raiders are so good at this stuff. They're so good. Timoko especially in the short spaces. His step, just those little steps, the last second off the right foot, the left foot, making players miss. That's why he's so dangerous at centre. But Kyle Weeks getting around the outside of Cooler as well. Garrett couldn't get a hold of him. The Raiders are so good in these short spaces. And that's another try for the Raiders. Damn. There we go. 10-6 with a kick to come. If someone has a link to the live stream for Jonathan, feel free to send it. Biggest threat to Lee and KR, I think both look class. They certainly do. This has been a weak Super League season, or one of the strongest team-wise. I'd say this has been strongest, honestly. There's been some awful games. We've had some really low lows, but I think it's one of the strongest the comp's ever been. I think it was strong last year. It was strong in 2023. 2023 was one of the strongest it's ever been. 2024 was actually stronger, and this year's been stronger than that, I think. Strong top 5 return Super League. KR ran away with the league leader shield, possibly. KR do have a tough run, but they seem to just be getting it done anyway. It's a 10-6 with a kick to come. 15 minutes gone in this game. Very back and forth so far. The Raiders doing some damage off the back of penalties. Fogarty near the right touchline to add the extras. And the kick from Jamal Fogarty is going to be swinging. Oh, post and wide. Post and wide. So it's no good. Remains 10-6. Any links for game? I do know there's a site called VIPROW.NU. And then you can find it on there. I have previously used those, but I use Watch NRL. So you can try that. Back underway. The Seagulls will kick to the Raiders. left of the sticks collected by KO Weeks. Hands it off to Papali'i. Same hairstyle. You love to see it. Connecting. And takes it over the 10. Starling at dummy half. Hands it off to Corey Horsburgh. No, he doesn't. To Joseph Tarpany on his left. 15.5 minutes gone. Starling over the 20. Horsburgh on his right, up towards the 30. Decent carries here. An offload would make this even more dangerous, but it's now the third tackle. Starling, left to Strange. Then to Hudson Young. Eating up some more metres up towards the halfway line. Great set here from the Raiders, up towards halfway. 2 more tackles to go as well. Strange. Now with Tarpany. Yeah, that's the worst play of that set. That was uneventful. But on the halfway line, it's handed off to Fogarty. He hits the belly of the ball. Not too much height on this one, but could be tricky to take. Taken cleanly by Tom Trebojevic. Over the 20. About 25 out from his own try line. It's now with Tommy Talau. Up towards the 30. Plenty of Raiders jerseys in there to bring him down. Plays it for Cherry Evans. Now with Jason Saab through the middle. He'd love a bit of open room to run, I'm sure. Last 10 minutes, possession has been 78% in favour of the Raiders. And they've also completed 6 out of 6, which is a good sign. Simpkin at dummy half in centre field takes it over the halfway line. Decent carry up towards enemy territories 40. Last tackle now for the Seagulls to go left to Brooks. He will kick towards the back left. Savage underneath this one. Takes it cleanly in front of the try line. Takes it over the 10. Takiaho is there. So is Waddell. And so is Chi Camp. But it's now with Jed Stewart with the next carry up towards the 20 and just over it. 17 minutes gone in this game. Sebastian Chris with the next carry. Up towards the 30. A few of the big men in there. Jake Trebojevic, Takiaho and Lodge. But Chris still making post-contact meters. Hudson Young through the middle. Bit of space behind the ruck. Gets an offload as well in the hands of KO Weeks. KO Weeks loves a bit of broken play and would love a bit of room to run. Now with Papali'i through the middle. Carries up towards the 40 inside the Seagulls half. Last tackle. Starling on his right to Fogarty. Nearly a forward pass there, but chips the ball towards the back right. Plenty of height on this one. Got a contest. Ruben Garrett collects it cleanly and he's stopped by Hosking, Savage and Fogarty in the back right corner. So a bit of work for the Seagulls to do on this next set. Let's see what they can come up with. The stream has stopped for me. That's great. That is excellent. This is, okay. Can I get this back up, please? Thank you, there we go. We're sorted. Sorry about that. Stream's been a bit buggy for me, but the Seagulls have possession on their own 40. Short side left to Brooks. Then across to Cooler, then to Garrick. Almost an interception from Savage. It's back in the hands of Brooks on the 40, inside Raiders half. Kicks the ball through. It's the last tackle. Kicks the ball on. Brooks is tackled without the ball. That's a sin bin. That is a sin bin. 100% a sin bin for Savage. I'm going to get this ready to go because that is absolutely... I'm adding that on because that is 100% a sin bin. Without question. Say it again. VIPROW.NU. There you go. Make this stream. That is going to be...
It's going to be a yellow card. I can't speak. You ballless gate, Campbell. You dickhead.
There you go. There's absolutely no question about that. You cannot argue with that. Honestly, Weeks was kind of worse, but yeah, I'm okay with that. Oh, it's Weeks. It's Weeks, yes, okay. I was thinking it was Savage at first, but it is Weeks. It is Weeks. So, Manly will get a fresh set in front of the try line. Cheekham with a carry, takes it 5 metres out from the try line. We're done with the first quarter as well. Great chance for the Seagulls now. Cherry Evans switches back to Bullimore. Shifting left. Stopped 2 metres short of the try line over on the left-hand side of the field. Third tackle. Plays this for Simpkin. Goes right to Cherry Evans in centre field. Now with Brooks. Then to Tom Trebojevic. Going to go himself, bit of room. Stopped 8 metres short of the try line. Fourth tackle. The Raiders would love to hold on here. They might be able to. Brooks in centre field. Now with Takiaho. Last tackle for the Seagulls. Good stuff from the Raiders so far. Simpkin goes right. Brooks gets the ball off to Trebojevic. The ball comes loose. Collected by Saab, and that is going to be a knock-on from the Seagulls. Well done, Raiders, for seeing that one out. So that's already a few minutes off the clock for the sin bin, and they can run a bit more time off the clock in possession next. So well done, Raiders. The Raiders have completed 9 out of 9 sets. They're just going to keep it going, really. They can't afford to give away the ball inside the midfield or their own half. Xavier Savage with the next carry. Over the 20, up towards the 30, just a few metres shy. Third tackle for the Raiders. Starling, Hosking on his right, up towards the 30. It's now the fourth. 19 and a half minutes to go in this first half. Corey Horsburgh with the next carry. A few metres shy of the 40. Now the last tackle. Starling on his left to Strange. Gets a kick away down the short side left. Towards the back left. Saab underneath it. Takes it cleanly on the 20. And he's just short of the 30. Smashed into the ground. So they could try and have a go moving the ball around. They've got a few more forwards to get back on side. But it's possibly worth a go here for the Seagulls having a go. There is possible head knock there for Tommy Talau. Tom Trebojevic on his right to Takiaho. Up towards the 40. So now with Trebojevic. Left to Brooks. Then left to Tommy Turbo. Cooler bumps off Savage, or maybe the other way round. Stopped on halfway. Fourth tackle. Ruben Garrick with the next carry up towards the Raiders 40. So decent defence here for the Raiders. Simpkin on his right to Cherry Evans. Puts boot to ball, plenty of height. And Sebastian Chris underneath it takes it cleanly. He's now stopped just short of the 20. Strong hit there from Waddell. So there's 7 minutes to go on the sin bin for KO Weeks. Fogarty. Now with Mariota, who's on for the Raiders. He'll play this for Starling, left to centre field. Then on his right to Tarpany. Bit of room behind the ruck, gets an offload as well. It's kind of out the back there, a little bit wayward. Mariota gets an offload for Chris, though. Bit of room down the right if he wants to use it. Almost got an offload to Hosking. Would have been a major line break there. Last tackle, Starling on his left to Fogarty. Kicks towards the back right. It's a slightly wayward kick, looking for touch. But he does find it. Definitely an awkward one there, but they find touch. And they will take some time off the clock. That's not too bad. That's alright. Smart move. You want to get your one of your star men in KO Weeks back in. You want a bit of time off. Get to the end of your set. Jason Saab will take the next carry with 17 minutes to go in this first half. Cherry Evans. Then on his left to Tommy Talau. Push back towards the 30. So it's now with Jake Trebojevic. Luke Brooks over on the left-hand side. Cooler on his right to Ruben Garrick up towards halfway. Fourth tackle inside Raiders territory. Left of centre field. Now with Jake Trebojevic, Cherry Evans, Waddell. Then Tom Trebojevic. Saab with room to run around the outside. Nearly into touch. Now into touch. Well done, Jed Stewart. Well done, young man. Nicely done. Could Jason Saab have got an offload there? Maybe. I'd need to see that one again. Let's have a look. I think just a bit too much focus on the touchline. I think Tom Trebojevic would have been wrapped up or possibly intercepted if if he tried to shut that ball off. Yeah, well done, Jed Stewart. Nicely done. That's one of the fastest guys, if not the fastest in the league. And you've just got a hand on him and put him in touch. That's nicely done. Without Savelio Tamale there as well. I don't know if Tamale's going to make it back into the squad. Or if he's done for the season, I don't know. But he's now with Xavier Savage up towards the 40 for the Raiders. So if they can complete this set, they'll take even more time off the clock. So there's been no major worries so far with the sin bin. It's looking okay. The Raiders looking fine right now. On halfway, Starling on the third tackle will go left to Tarpany, left to Strange. Decides not to hand the ball off due to the defensive line there being in the way from the Seagulls. So he'll play this for Starling in centre field, now with Tarpany, then to Mariotta. He gets an offload, collected by Fogarty, switches back to Hosking, up towards the 40 and just over it. Now the last tackle for the Raiders. They'll just want to try and find a corner here. Short side right to Fogarty. He's going to drill this into touch, actually. That's a smart move. That's completely fair. Smart move. Takes a few more seconds off the clock. Waiting for this sim bin to be over and done with for KO Weeks. Smart stuff. So the Seagulls will play this on their own 20. Ruben Garrick takes the first carry of this set. We've got just less than 15 minutes to go in the first half. 10-6 for the Raiders with a sim bin as well. Cheekham down the left edge over the 30. Second tackle, Simpkin on the left. Then on his right to Bullymore. 3.5 minutes to go in the sim bin, actually. Just 3.5. And Manly haven't really done anything with it. They've had one set inside the red zone, but not done too much inside the midfield. But Tom Trebojevic with room to run up towards the 30. Quick play the ball here for Simpkin over on the left. On his right then to Brooks. Switches back to Toa Sipley. Go on, Toa. Warrington Wolves bound for next season, baby. Go on, Toa. Simpkin on his right to Cherry Evans. Right to Brooks. Chips the ball through. That's well weighted. And it goes over the dead ball line. That's not a great kick there from Brooks. That's going to be a 20-metre tap and 7 tackle set. That is not good. Not good. It is now with Xavier Savage with a decent carry there over the 30 up towards the 40. Quick play the ball for Starling. Hands it off to Hudson Young through the middle. 13.5 minutes to go. Starling through centre field again at dummy half. With Horsburgh on his right. Done a massive stint as of the other forwards. With Hudson Young again off the back of an offload. Over the Seagulls 40. 13 minutes to go. Third tackle as well. Starling right to Tarpany. Over the 30. Fourth tackle. On his right to Mariotta. Almost with an offload for Hosking. Now the last tackle. 15 metres out. In centre field with Fogarty. Left to Strange. Then to Young. Trying to get around. Tommy Tellout. Can he get an offload? Almost. In the hands of Stewart. Just knocks the ball on. Then Saab does. So first knock on from the Canberra Raiders. Decent effort there. They'll turn over the ball on the 10. So, not too bad. Not too bad. So, Seagulls in possession. Saab near the right touchline on the 40. Almost into touch. 12 minutes to go in this first half. Third tackle. Cherry Evans back towards the middle with Trebojevic. Then Toa Sipley. Go on, Toa, lad. Fourth tackle. Left to Jake Trebojevic. Now Luke Brooks. Switches back to Tom Trebojevic. Cuts back towards the right-hand side. Chucks the ball across, and that's knocked on from Jed Stewart. So what was basically a throw and hope from the Seagulls is then a knock-on from Stewart and a fresh set of 6. So Weeks will be coming back on any second, so I'll just add him back in. So 10 minutes there with an extra man, and the Seagulls have basically done absolutely nothing. So at the back of the scrum for the Seagulls, it's now with Bullimore. Over the 40 inside Raiders territory. 11 minutes to go. Weeks is back on any second. He's back on now. Simpkin with a scoop from dummy half up towards the Raiders 20 inside the red zone. And a 6 again for ruck infringement. Just less than 11 minutes to go. Jake Trbojevic goes right to Cherry Evans. Tommy Talau just regathers possession. Second tackle plays it just short of the 10. Cherry Evans goes left to Waddell. Horsburgh brings him down. Hudson Young has his legs as well. Simpkin right at the sticks. 10.5 minutes to go. Left to Cherry Evans. Out the back to Brooks. Out the back to Tommy Trbojevic. Garrick in the corner kicks the ball through. Recovered by, I think that was Weeks. Yes, it was. And that's going to be a goal line dropout for the Raiders. So that's the most exciting that the Seagulls have looked. And it's after the sin bin. So yeah, Weeks, first set since coming back on, and yeah, helps out. So that'll be a goal line dropout. So Fogarty will kick long, near the touchline, collected on the 40 by Brooks. Now Eto'o Sipley is pushed backwards. Just forget it, Warrington. Don't worry about it. You going to Warrington Wigan later? Yes, I am, Christopher. Yes, I am. Bullimore still shifting. Stopped just short of the 10. Plays for Simpkin. Left to centre field. Right to Brooks. Now to Cherry Evans. Steps off his right foot. And it's a 6 again for the Seagulls. Just over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Simpkin right at the sticks. With a fresh set. Shoots it left to Brooks. Fakes the handoff, steps, and he's stopped a few metres short of the try line, left of the sticks. 9 minutes to go. And a penalty for the Seagulls. There's a push on the back of the head, so fresh set of 6 for the Manly Seagulls again. They could go for 2 and maybe see if there's ill discipline later, but you might as well just tap and go. Luke Brooks limping a little bit. Eight and a half minutes to go. Simpkin between the sticks. Shoots it left to Dally Cherry Evans. Then across to Brooks. Just about keeps hold of the ball. Stopped 8 or 9 metres out. Over near the left touch line. Cooler at dummy half. There's a slow play the ball there from Brooks, but it's now with Cherry Evans. Then to Simpkin. Then to Bullimore. Stopped on the 10. 3 more tackles in this set. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Plays it for Simpkin left of the sticks. Goes right to Cherry Evans, out the back to Tom Trbojevic, then to Talau, room to run. Tommy Talau stopped a metre or 2 short of the try line. Great scramble from the Raiders, excellent. 4th tackle, Trbojevic in centre field across to Brooks, room to run. He's stopped a metre or 2 short of the line, right at the sticks, last tackle. Simpkin, right to Cherry Evans, kicks the ball through. Stewart is there, and that's going to be a 7 tackle set, 20 metre restart. Well done, Raiders. Great scramble, 7.5 minutes to go. Well done, Canberra. A lot of pressure to deal with there. A lot of pressure. Really nicely done. So the Raiders with a fresh set. Up towards the 30. Sorry, I need to yawn. Smithies. Smithies is now on. Next carry from Matthew Timmercoat, who have back to score a try in this one. Takes it over the 40. 7 minutes to go. It's only the second tackle as well. About to hit Manly's territory. They are with Hosking. So the Raiders could put up some points here now. Starling. And a 6 again for the Raiders. And a 6 again. Smithies, right of centre field, will go left to Fogarty. Switches back to Hudson Young up towards the Seagulls 30. Slightly left of centre field, Starling at dummy half. On his right to Mariotta. He takes it over the 20, now about 16, 17 metres out from the try line in centre field. Starling goes right to Hosking, then to Fogarty. He'll switch back to Sasagi. Is that Sasagi? It is, yes. Plays it for Starling. 11 to 12 metres out, engage the line. It's now with Strange. There's no way. Just held up, I think. Just held up. Wow. Great effort. Great effort from Strange. Only 10 metres out now for the Seagulls. Short side left, maybe? No, they'll go right to Fogarty on the last. They'll kick towards the back right. Garrick versus Savage. Not backwards from Savage, I think. So that's going to be a 20-metre tap again for the Seagulls. Decent effort there from the Raiders. Decent effort. So here we go. 7 tackle set for the Seagulls. Can they answer back before half-time? Maybe take the lead. We will see. So it's 0 tackle, just short of the 30. 5.5 minutes to go. Cheekham down the left edge for the Seagulls. A few metres shy of the 40. Completion is 14 of 15 for the Raiders, and I think it was 14 of 17 for the Seagulls. So 93% completion for the Raiders. Slow play the ball here from Sipley. Holding his eye. No, the Warrington Wolves recruit is down. No. Ah, yeah. There's an accident there. Just an incident. In work, have fun all. Hi, Kieran. Good to see you. Enjoy work. So, Toa Sipley, the wire recruit, will play this for Simpkin in centre field. Then it's with Jazz Tavanga, the Wakefield Trinity recruit. Takes it over halfway. With 5 minutes to go in this first half, Simpkin in centre field will go left to Tom Trebojevic. He cuts back towards the right-hand side. Still stepping, maybe loses a little bit of ground there. 4th tackle for the Seagulls. Plays it for Simpkin, right in centre field. On his left to Jazz Tavanga. Plays it for Simpkin. On his right to Cherry Evans. Kicks towards the sticks slightly, or slightly right of the sticks. Kale Weeks goes up. No, he doesn't. Ends up in the hands of Sipley. 6 again for the Seagulls. Go on, Toa, lad. 4.5 minutes left. Simpkin hands it off to Bullymore, trying to crash over. Just short. Just short. 4 minutes 20 to go. Second tackle between the sticks. Simpkin goes left to Jazz Tavanga. Stops a metre short the try line, left of the sticks. Simpkin fakes right, goes left. Cheekham almost over. Is he held up or are they playing it short of the line? He will play it a metre short. They'll start going right now with Brooks. Cross to Cherry Evans. Pops it up to Waddell. It's now the last tackle for the Seagulls. Just less than 4 minutes to go. Simpkin left to Cherry Evans. Kicks the ball through. Decent chase from Cheekham. Oh, it pops up nicely for Savage, but he has a foot in touch there. That's going to be a goal line dropout. Was he taken out off the ball? Maybe. I don't know. Need to see it again, but mate, the Seagulls, they're getting so much possession here, but they're just not getting it done. Goal line dropout for the Raiders. They'll eat a bit more time off the clock. They are dealing with a lot of pressure right now. A hell of a lot of pressure. Fogarty from the dropout. It's then collected on the 40 by Bullymore. Over the halfway line. Now up to the Raiders 40. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Bullymore will play this in centre field for Simpkin. Then on his right to Toa Sipley. Over the 30. Second tackle. 25 metres out. Simpkin left to Brooks. Out the back to Cherry Evans. Across to Tom Trebojevic. Bit of room to run here. Can he get an offload? No, he stopped 4 or 5 metres short of the try line. Over on the left touch line. Plays this for Kula. On his right to Cherry Evans. Then to Tavanga. Takes it over the 10. 2 or 3 metres short of the try line. Left of the sticks. 4th tackle. Just less than 2.5 to go. Simpkin, right to Cherry Evans. Out the back to Brooks, then across the Tello, pushes it onto Saab. He knocks on, then the Raiders knock on as well. So the Raiders deal with another set. They're still going, they're still chugging along. Mate, the Raiders, the scramble defence. I know the Seagulls haven't been perfect, they've been slightly disconnected, but the amount of pressure that the Raiders have had to deal with, and they're just holding on. After what happened with like the opening try, after 3.5 minutes, I thought the Seagulls might be ready to go in this one, but they've not really been able to do much else, even though they've had a stint with the extra man. So at the back of the scrum, Matthew Timoko with a carry, takes it over the 10. A minute and a half to go. It's now with Simi Sasagi over the 20. Coming up towards the 30. It's now with Morgan Smithies over the 30. Starling on his left to Fogarty, then to Strange. Spreading the ball down the left with Hudson Young over the 40. A few metres shy of halfway with just over a minute to go. 2 more tackles in this set for the Raiders. Now with Hosking through centre field. Decent carry inside Seagulls territory. So the Seagulls will get 1 more set to finish this half. Right to Fogarty. He will kick or drop goal attempt. That is low. So that is going to be a 7 tackle set, 20 metre tap. I like the idea, but you're up by 4 and you've just gifted them a 7 tackle set. I think that's probably the wrong call there from Fogarty. I don't think it was over the 40. I didn't really clock where it was on the field. If it was over the 40 for a 2-point drop goal, I think that's fine. Oh, so it's a... Wait, it's a penalty from the 20 from a drop goal attempt. Is it? Really? Okay. Well, it's going to be a scrum for Manly on the halfway line. The clock is stopped with 13 seconds to go. So there will be 2 plays at most, but they might have a go on this this set piece here. Out the back of the scrum. The clock is ticking down. It's with Bullymore. They'll take 1 carry and then maybe have a go. So the Raiders want to slow play the ball here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Plays the ball. They go down the right-hand side with Cherry Evans. Drop goal attempt. And that is no good. What a waste of a set. That is half-time. What an absolute waste. The Raiders have been clinical in this one. Very clinical. A lot of pressure to deal with. A lot of pressure. How's Matty Nicol getting on? Well, he's not playing. Nathan, he's not playing. He should be back. I think he's available, but he's not in the squad. He should have been back last week, but I don't think there's any reason to take Hosking out. He was in there ahead of Hosking, but there's been no reason to take him out. So Nicholson might not get in the squad again. Well, he probably will do at some point, just to get him some minutes. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with him. Oh, we got Sean Johnson on the analyst desk. That is nice. One second, just need to do something real quick. The Seagulls, though, the amount of pressure, the amount of territory that they've had and not done anything is almost alarming. It's almost alarming, honestly. Sorry, just need to sort some stuff out real quick. Okay. Right. So the Seagulls in possession. I just don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the answer is. The amount of territory that they've had, the amount of opportunities that they could have put points on the board, but either this great scramble from the Raiders or just poor execution from the Seagulls is getting a bit ridiculous now. It is getting a bit ridiculous. Even when the Raiders went down to 12, I wasn't even concerned. Like, the Seagulls, they had a set inside the red zone immediately off the back of it, but just didn't trouble them at all. I think one thing that's helped the Raiders massively as well, probably their completions. Especially when they went down to 12, they completed well. There's a little bit of ill discipline from the Seagulls, but not a ridiculous amount. But yeah, the Raiders, the thing is, their forwards, first of all, are massive. They're not just massive, they make good meters. And not just that, they do long stints. So they can do more damage over more time. They can work the ball up the field. They don't have to spread the ball that much to gain the meters when they stretch the defence. They can just make easy meters through the middle with the forwards. And then, on the kick, get the balls towards the corners, win the battle through the middle, because the Seagulls aren't doing enough through the middle. They have to really spread the ball to make the meters. And sometimes they're coming up with mistakes. So, the Raiders look quite... They look comfortable on field, just scoreline wise. It's like any second it could easily change, but they look quite comfortable. They've had 9 offloads as well. That's another thing as well. The second phase is constantly... Some of the offloads have been slightly wayward, which disrupts things slightly, but they're still creating second phases. So yeah, nicely done. Good stuff from the Raiders as of right now. The Seagulls, I think, if they can just... First thing they've got to do is just the basics, just complete sets. And somehow, if they can execute better in possession, that'll be a huge help. But that's it, really. I think in terms of completion rate, they're not doing too bad. But if they can be a little bit more clinical, they force the Raiders to make mistakes if they actually do at some point. And then the Seagulls, when they're in good field position, they have to actually create opportunities. They're chucking the ball around, they're attacking both edges, they're having a go, but it's just not happening. So, to your question, Sam, the Raiders look like the better side right now. But again, it's close. They'll be happy with the performance. I think there's a big gap in terms of performance, but the scoreline doesn't really reflect that. When we're back on the analyst desk here, Sean Johnson will be speaking. So I'm going to do a bit more listening than talking because I do like what he has to say. I mean, that try early on from Kula, though, was... Not from Kula, sorry, but he started it. Beautiful try. Strange answering back next, and then it was Savage after a great bit of work from Timoko and Weeks. The Raiders have got some special players in their squad. Some truly special players. That's why I still feel like they could take the grand final just because of the kind of guys that they've got. Like, Fogarty can run the kicking game. The forwards they've got can dominate through the middle if they want to, if it's their day. And then the guys in the backs, they're typically reliable and can create moments from nothing. So, the Raiders have a squad that's honestly built to win a grand final. They're right there. They are right there. Just going to check TikTok for the latest video, see what people have been saying, which is already better than the flop of a video I posted yesterday for the Melbourne Storm one. That's great. But it's alright. It's okay. Forward pack is so good. The backs are mediocre at best. I would highly disagree with that. I highly disagree with that. Thing is, the Seagulls have a squad that's built like it could win a grand final as well. Like, because they have quality all over. They've got a huge forward pack. They've got a really, really strong spine. They've got decent impact off the bench as well. So, like, they are also... I think another team that's built to win a grand final are the Sharks. They also have a big forward pack, a really strong spine, a lot of quality in the backs. So the Raiders, the Seagulls, the Sharks, they feel like they're all built fairly similarly. But I think it's probably... First of all, the coaching from Ricky Stewart is elevating this Raiders side. There's a lot of questions over Anthony Searbold, especially from Seagulls fans. And then with... Is it Fitzgibbon is the head coach at the Sharks? The Sharks have just had a bit of trouble with inconsistency over the last couple of years. But I think those three teams are built to win a grand final. They just got to get it over the line. I think the Raiders are in a prime position to do it. Name me some world-class backs for the Raiders. Well, they don't need to be world-class. You're saying mediocre, and then you're saying world-class. Like, they don't need to be world-class. But Fogarty is a top 5-7 in the league. Strange is top 5 to top 10-6 in the league. Savage, one of the quickest in the league and also possibly a top 10 to 15 winger. Stewart is still a young lad. It's normally Savelia Tamale that's been playing this year. Timoko is one of the most exciting and dangerous centres in the game. Chris is one of the most reliable centres. He's having in one of his best seasons as well. And Weeks is one of the most exciting young prospects, possibly a top 10 at worst, maybe top 5 fullback this season. So, in terms of how they're performing, top 15 winger isn't... Yes, it is. Given that there's 2 wingers on a team, yes, it is. If I say top 5 fullback and then top 10 winger, there's 2 wingers on a team. Top 10 is good. 17 teams, 2 wingers per team. Plus there's more, like in rotation. Our 21 squad is out and Price and Asiata are playing. If Salford weren't already... Yeah. It's going to be a rough one. I've not seen the Salford squad. I'm going to have a look. Let's have a look. Have they even announced the squad? I don't think they have. They haven't even announced the squad. Riley Lum and Ben Littlewood have joined the club on loan from Leeds. Okay, Riley Lum's a good pickup. Very solid. There's a very solid pickup there. Saints duo Kieran Nolan and Jake Davies have joined the club on a 2-week loan as well. Okay, so they're picking up a couple players where they can. I've got no issues with Warrington loaning out a couple players just for some game time. Like, I assume that Kai Taylor-Ray might be playing today, but if it was a situation where he's available but wasn't because Dufty was definitely going to play, that kind of thing, then if Taylor-Ray played for Salford, I wouldn't mind that. Just to get him some more Super League game time. Sam, I know what you're trying to say, but you're in the ballpark, but you're not... You're near the ballpark, but you're not in the ballpark. You're not there. You're there, but you're not in. Thing is about Dufty being stood down may not be true. Yeah, that's also possibly the case. But who knows? I mean, someone's suggestion was that what was I going to say now? He might just be there for backup in case, because Kai Taylor is coming back from injury. That he's just there for safety, basically. All right. Well, you name the 30 wingers that are better. By the way, I've never said that Stewart was a top-class winger. He's filling in for somebody else. He is a kid. Jed Stewart is a kid. I'm not putting him up there. He is a kid filling in. And also, by the way, question to you, Sam. Question. If Savage... If, say, there was 30 players better than Savage, does that make him bad? Does it make him bad? Or does it make the 30 above him and him good? Other players can be better than him. It doesn't make him bad. I don't think your point is making enough sense here. In the backs, they're having a great season. Like, just because they're not world class, but saying they're mediocre, I think is a ridiculous statement to make. They don't have someone who can do something like Walsh or Herbie. Timoko's been doing stuff. Weeks has been doing stuff like Walsh. Savage can do stuff like one of the best number 6s in the league. Like, the backs have been doing stuff all year long. And they've been doing it. They also have, as well, second best attack in the league. Second best. Storm are the only one that's better. So, like, I don't know what else you want. Like, they're performing extremely well. Okay. Oh, for God's sake, we're back underway. I'd completely missed it. Right then. 10-6. We've had just over 3 minutes gone. My bad, folks. So it's Mariota with the next carry up towards the 20. Starling, now with Smithies on his right up towards the 30, or he's stopped stopped and pushed back slightly. Simi Sasagi with the next carry takes it over the 30. 2 more tackles in this set. Hosking plays for Starling, he goes right to Fogarty on the last. And Trebojevic recovers it over the 30, or up towards the 30. 4 minutes gone in the second half. On his right to Ruben Garrick. Making a few metres there, pumping his legs. Great carry there from Ruben Garrick, up towards the 40. Excellent carry. Plays for Simpkin in centre field. He goes right to Cherry Evans. Switches back to Waddell. Up towards halfway. 3 more tackles in this set for the Seagulls, so not too bad here for territory. Jazz Tavanga up towards the Raiders 40. 4.5 minutes gone. 4th tackle. Simpkin on his right to Bullimore. Over the 30. So will they look for the corner or try and have a go here? Short side right to Cherry Evans. Chips the ball towards the back right. Plenty of height on this one. It's going to bounce. Saab is there, but so is KO Weeks, and he's tackled in goal. It's going to be a goal line dropout. Anderson, no. Coates, yes. Warbrick, close but no. Mariner, close but no. Cobbo, yes. Karapani, no. Dominic Young, close but maybe. Toto, yes. Garrick, yes. Sloan, no. Mulatalo, yes. Asako, yes. Nawa, Nwanganituaze, it's about level. Tupo, yes. Kiraz, about level. Montoya, no. Wateni Zelezniak, about level. Tuivasa-Sheck, yes. Lomac, yes. Adokar, yes. Johnston, about level. In terms of performance this year, there you go. Bullimore with a carry. Up towards the 10. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Simpkin in centre field at dummy half, or slightly right at centre field. Goes left to Tavanga. Out the back to Brooks under pressure from Fogarty. Plays for Simpkin in centre field. He goes right to Cherry Evans. 3rd tackle. He'll switch back to Waddell. Simpkin on his left to Bullymore. Bit of room here to crash over. Good defence from Weeks and Smithies and Hosking there to help as well. Last tackle. This will be played right in front of the try line. Great work there. Out the back to Cherry Evans. Brooks pops it up to Cooler. Steps again. Cooler is in. Good step in there from Cooler. Finally, the Seagulls, after all the territory that they've had, especially in the first half, they'll finally get some bloody points. I think from where the kick is as well, they'll probably make it 12-10, but I'll just leave it 10 for now. Again, Sam, I'm kind of done with this conversation because I don't think, again, you're next to the ballpark, but you're not in the ballpark. At no point did I say they will make the grand final. I said they're a favourite, but I'm not like so adamant that everyone else is wrong on it. I said they're built to win one. I'm kind of done with this conversation now. It's boring me a little bit. That is 7.5 minutes gone. The Seagulls finally answer back. Cooler. Only two major moments in this game, but they've resulted in tries. So Ruben Garrick to make it 12-10. To take the lead once again. It's been a while. And Garrick to take the lead. The kick is good. There we go. 12-10. All right. Sam, KO Weeks versus Melbourne Storm. Storm have lost upsets. All the favourites have lost upsets. Sipley with the first carry on this fresh set. Simpkin, now with Bullymore. Over the 20. Simpkin in centre field on his right to Tavanga. Up towards the 30 and over it. 9.5 minutes gone in the second half. Manly Seagulls have been second best in this game, but are leading on the scoreboard. Next carry from Waddell. Up towards halfway. Simpkin over halfway now. Up towards the Raiders 40. With the last tackle coming up. In centre field with Brooks at dummy half. He's got Cherry Evans on his right, who will kick with plenty of height on this one. Towards the sticks, or slightly towards the back left. Collected by Savage. And it's brought down by Saab and Chikam. Timoko. Up towards the 20. It's now Weeks with the next carry through centre field up towards the 30. Starling. Short side left to Strange. Fakes the switch back then to Sebastian Chris. Up towards the 40. Nearly got an offload there. Full tackle. What's even happened there? It's going to be a penalty for the Raiders. That was a bit of a mess there. Bit of a mess. So, penalty for the Raiders. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Strange taps, and it ends up in the hands of Fogarty. Now with Sasangi. And that's Mariotta, actually. Plays it in centre field. Starling, husking on his right, but goes out the back to Fogarty. Then to Weeks under a bit of pressure there from Cooler. It's great jam in there from Tolu Cooler. 30 metres out. Starling, left to Fogarty. Switches back to Mariotta for another carry in this set. 25 metres out. Starling, left to Fogarty. Back on his right there to Morgan Smithies. Strong carry, now about 13, 14 metres out. Plays for Starling, left to centre field. Short side left to Strange. Steps off his left foot. Ethan Strange is in. The Wonder Kid is in again. Ethan Strange with a plenty of work to do. Just glides. He just glides into the in-goal area. Beautifully done. 14-12. Cooper Cronk says one of the best young ball players in the competition. Let me know when there's a moment of brilliance from these backs to come back this game, or will they just get to the end of the forward pack's brilliance? Well, I'm not even going to respond to that because I don't think I need to after what's just happened. .12 minutes gone in the second half. 14-12 for the Raiders with a kick to come. It's not the easiest kick in the world, but it's going to be a bit tricky. Bit tricky, but not too difficult either. Well done, Ethan Strange. Back 5, not 7. What kind of rules are you changing here now? Who'd you rather? I'd rather have the back 7 of the Raiders, obviously. Fogarty converts, and that is 16-12. Hello, Dingle. We've got 27 minutes and 42 seconds to go in this game. 4-point advantage for the Raiders once again. They could certainly do with another one. Because the Seagulls, even though, again, as I said earlier, the Seagulls have been second best, they've still been well in this game. It's now with Simi Sasagi up towards the 20 for the Raiders. Second tackle, Starling, left to Hosking. Carries up towards the 30. Third tackle, Starling, left to centre field. On his right to Morgan Smithies, or is that Hudson Young? I couldn't quite tell. That is Hudson Young. Starling, now with Morgan Smithies. Carries it just short of halfway. Last tackle for the Raiders, 27 minutes to go. Starling goes right to Fogarty. Plenty of height towards the back right here. Garrick underneath it, takes it cleanly, just in front of the 10, and then takes it up to the 20. And just over it. Is now with Simpkin to Cherry Evans. Now to Jason Saab. Is now shifting it left. Brooks. Then to Cheekham up towards the 40. Simpkin. Takiaho. Strong carry up towards halfway. Last tackle for the Seagulls. Short side right to Cherry Evans. Just dinks the ball towards the back right. Collected on the full by Jed Stewart. Was looking to hand it off, but then recovers it up towards the 20. With 26 minutes to go. Plays it for Weeks. Now with Chris. That possibly could have been forward there. Boos ring around from the crowd. Were they expecting a high shot or something? Now with Matthew Timoko. Carries it just short of the 40. He'll play it for Starling. He's got Papali'i, who's back on the field on his right. Up towards halfway. 2 more tackles in this set. 25.5 to go. Left to Fogarty. Then to Hudson-Young. Then Strange. Now Sebastian Chris. Across to Stewart. Flicks it back inside. Strange is there. Strange is through. And that's another try for the Raiders. Excellent work there from Sebastian Chris. And that's going to be a hat-trick for Ethan Strange. Look at the kid move. Look at the kid go. 22-12. There is a kick to come, but yeah, it's in front of the sticks, so they should get it. Yeah, I'm not really too bothered about Sam Walker. You'll end the argument, who gets in the Oz or State call-up? Well, yeah, they get the Oz or State call-up, but where are they in the league? In fact, 558 points to 345. That's a great start. And then, how about, just for good measure, 50-12 for the Raiders and 40-16 for the Raiders. So I think I'll call it a day there, Sam. Nice pass from Hosking Stewart, you mean? Yeah, it was really nicely done. I thought it was Seb Chris. I didn't... There's a couple involved there. I didn't quite see who it was fully. I just know it was Strange that scored the try. I need to see it again just to confirm who it was. So it was Strange to Seb Chris, then across to Jed Stewart, then he flicks a ball. Yeah, so it was Stewart with the offload. Really nicely done. Beautifully done from the young man. Horsburgh got a call-up. Fogarty should have been in line for a potential call-up as well. There was talk about him over Cherry Evans. Look, you can have your opinion. You can absolutely have your opinion. You're just not changing mine. All I said was they're built to win a grand final. And you said that they're mediocre, yet they've scored the second most points in the competition. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So there was a shoulder into Jake Trebojevich's head and he went down. He could be done for the day. His brother has to tell him to go off. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Sam, I don't care anymore. I'm actually just kind of bored. I don't care. If you want to talk about something else, I'll talk about something else, but I know what I think about it. So Sagi will play this for Starling. Smithies with the next carry up towards the 30. Starling now with Papali'i up towards the 40. That's a strong carry. 23 minutes to go. My exact score prediction is still on. Well, we'll see. I need both to score a try but not to convert. So we'll see. It's now with Fogarty. Kicks on the last 45 metres out from the try line. Towards the back left for Jason Saab. Collects it 15 out from his own try line. Takes it over the 20. And makes about 10 on that return. Cherry Evans now to Tommy Tallow. Been quite quiet in this game. Or pretty quiet in this game. Different word. 22.5 minutes to go. Cherry Evans on his left to Ruben Garrick. Plays it just short of halfway. Now with Ethan Bullymore. Skips back towards the left-hand side. Great carry up towards the 40. Jake Trebojevic has already failed the HIA, which is understandable, but Manly shifting it right with Tom Trebojevic up towards the 20. Last tackle for the Seagulls, 22 minutes to go. Plays it for Tommy Tellau. Now with Cherry Evans, kicks towards the back right. Weeks underneath it, goes up, comes down with it, and is tackled 4 out from his own try line. He will play this for Sebastian Chris, now with Jed Stewart. Saab is holding his arm in a weird way. Now with Xavier Savage. Carries it over the 10. Plays it for Fogarty. Now with Seb Chris up towards the 20. And a few extra metres as well. 21.5 minutes to go. 4th tackle. Fogarty left to Timoko. Over the 30. And last tackle now for the Raiders. They go left to Ethan Strange with the hat-trick. Kicks from behind the 40 towards the back left. Saab collects 15 out from his own try line. Takes it over the 20. And up towards the 30. 21 minutes to go. 10-point advantage for the Raiders. I'm still thinking there's more points in this game. I still think Manly do have an extra try or two in them. And so do the Raiders. They've got an extra try or two in them as well. Strip attempt here from Strange. Can't quite get it. Trebojevic keeps a hold of it. It's now with Tellau down the right edge. And actually, just thinking, I can apply that in a second. And there's a great tackle from Sasangi to wrap up Tolu Kula. Halfway now with Simpkin. Slips over. Smithies gets a hold of him. Last tackle now for the Seagulls. Right to Cherry Evans. Plenty of height. Strange goes up, comes down with it cleanly. Garrick and Brooks will wrap him up. Let's add this on. There we go. Weeks with the next carry over the 20. So a mistake there from Jed Stewart, from the young man. Incorrect play the ball, was it? Yes, it was. So that means that the Manly Seagulls will have a fresh set with 19.5 minutes to go. 30 metres out. What are you doing there, Jazz? What are you doing? He'll play it in centre field for Simpkin. Left to... Is that Navale? Oh, that's... Oh, I thought he was wearing... Oh, it's Cheekham. I thought it was 17 then. I was wondering who it was. Takiaho. Now a few metres out from the try line. Not quite inside the 10 just yet. 19 minutes to go. Brooks in centre field. Switches back to Tavanga. Now about 6 metres out. 3rd tackle. Simpkin, left of the sticks. Goes right to Cherry Evans. Across to Brooks. Switches back to Waddell. 6 metres out. Plays it over on the right-hand side. Simpkin pops up to Takiaho. Brought down 5 metres out. Last tackle for the Seagulls. Not too much happening in this set, but they go short side right. Cherry Evans kicks the ball through. Hits the foot of Strange. Possibly tackle without the ball there. Can't quite recover it, and it is going to be a penalty for the Raiders. They could challenge if they want to, the Seagulls, but I think it's probably the right call. 18.5 to go. Penalty for the Raiders. So Strange gets a foot on it, tries to collect it, but he's tackled without the ball by Corey Waddell. So, the Raiders take a bit more time off this clock. 4 penalties to 3 in favour of the Raiders. They'll start a fresh set from their own 30. Patty's not even come on yet. Starling with a big stint. But Patty is pretty exciting out the ruck. He then takes it up towards the halfway line. Starling, now with Tarpany over halfway. Then up to the 40. Starling, right to Fogarty. Then Papali'i pops it up to Sasagi. That is a interesting decision there. That's could have been a mistake there, but nicely held on to. Starling goes left to Fogarty. He'll switch back to Hosking. Last tackle, left to Fogarty. Plenty of height towards the back left. Will land on the 10 roughly. Trebojevic goes up, takes it cleanly, and they'll play the ball 15 out from the row try line. So we'll see what kind of set we get here defensively from the Raiders. We just got to be disciplined, try and pin them back. We're now over the 20 with Jason Saab. Simpkin at dummy half, 17 minutes to go. Left to Ruben Garrick. Up towards the 30. Third tackle for the Seagulls. Go down the short side left with Cheekamp. Look for an offload. Gets one to Ruben Garrick. He then gives it to Bullymore. Can he get an offload? Not quite. Fourth tackle. Still inside their own half. Jastavanga over the 40. Almost an interception. Collected by Sebastian Chris. And that is going to be a goodbye for Seb Chris. And that is probably going to be the game wrapped up. Wayward pass there. Almost intercepted from Strange. Sebastian Chris collects it. There we go. 26-12. With a kick to come. That is probably going to be 28. So I'll just make it 28. Wayward pass there. Wayward pass. Very wayward. Bear with me. Alright, Chris, having a great year this year? Is what you say about Jazz, lol? Oh, what did I say about Jazz? Alright, yeah. Yeah, fair point. So, back underway. 28-12. So my exact score prediction... Oh, wait, no! No, it's on! I said 28-16. I thought I said 26-16. I said 28-16. Come on. It's on. It is on. So we had a try 3 minutes in for the Seagulls, then 2 from the Raiders, 1 from the Seagulls, and then 3 in a row for the Raiders. 14.5 minutes to go. Third tackle coming up now for the Raiders. Tarpany with a strong carry up towards the 40. Corey Horsburgh over the 40. Coming up towards halfway. I really fancy going to the cinema in a bit, I'm not going to lie. I actually kind of fancy going to the cinema after this. Random thought, but there you go. Horsburgh with a carry over the 40. Almost with a flick pass offload there. So now with Fogarty on the last. Kicks from the Seagulls 40. Towards the back right. It's knocked off the shoulder of Savage, I think. Still bouncing. Collected by Strange. I think it's a knock on there from the Raiders. Yeah, handover for the Seagulls. Yeah, Chris is having a really good year. I think he looked solid the past couple of years, but I think he's really taken a step up. He's a lot more reliable in possession. Defensively, he's done some good stuff. I think he's having possibly his best year this year. First half of the season was great. Patty, with 13 minutes to go, is going to come on. Finally. Starling can have a break. It's now with Corey Waddell down the right edge. 13 minutes to go. Third tackle with the Seagulls in possession over on the right-hand side of the field. Simpkin goes down the short side right with Cherry Evans. Then hands it off to Talau. Under a bit of pressure there. Up towards halfway. 2 more tackles in this set. Moving it back towards the middle. Now with Jazz Tavanga. Across to Luke Brooks. Switches back to Tom Trebojevic. Offloads it for Shop. He gets an offload. Batted backwards by Brooks. Now with Tolukula. Stepping. And is brought down just inside Raiders territory. Last tackle with 12.5 minutes to go for the Seagulls. Now with Cherry Evans. Hits the belly of the ball. Swirling ball. Plenty of height. Could be tricky for Kale Weeks. Takes it cleanly. And almost breaks through there. Fogarty hands it off to Xavier Savage. And it's going to be a penalty for the Raiders. Dangerous contact, okay. Strange holding his shin there. Not Strange, sorry. Savage holding his shin. Yeah, that looked awkward. Hope he's alright. It did look awkward. So yeah, penalty for the Raiders. Fogarty will kick into touch. Slight limp there for Savage, but I think he's going to carry on. He is a tough cookie. So Patty is now finally on. Timoko will tap and give it to Weeks. I did back Timoko to score a try. He might get one. So I either have to accept an exact score line or Timoko try. I'd prefer the exact score line, to be honest. Tarpany with a strong carry inside Seagulls territory. 11 minutes to go. 6 again. Tarpany taking his time with the play the ball here. Penalty for a high tackle. Tarpany was really milking that one. So they might go for 2 here. They could do. It's like 45 metres out. Bloody hell, I've seen worse. They will kick into touch and start a fresh set 25 metres out. Timoko will play this about 17 metres out from the try line for Owen Patty. Left to Weeks. Then to Horsburgh. Then to Fogarty. Pops the ball up and it's going to be a knock on there from the Raiders. Or was it Seagulls? Knock on from Cherry Evans, was that? I think so. 10 minutes left. Scrum for the Raiders on the Seagulls 20. Fogarty will feed the ball into the scrum. Out the back for Patty. He goes right to Timoko. So I do have Raiders 1 to 12. 16-point advantage for now. Patty goes left to Tarpany through centre field. He's going to be stopped 4 metres short of the line, maybe 2 or 3. Between the sticks, Patty looks right, goes right to Fogarty. Wrapped up by Brooks, maybe. Skips past him, but then is wrapped up 5 metres short of the line. 9 minutes left. Third tackle right of the sticks. Patty. Left to Horsburgh. Just carries it towards the left edge. Plays it a few metres short of the line. Left of the sticks now. Patty. Out the back to Fogarty. Switches back to Sasagi. Stops 6 metres short. Last tackle. Patty. Kicks the ball through. Decent chase here from Horsburgh. Is there? No. It goes over the dead ball line. So that is going to be a 20-metre restart. 7 tackle set. Nice idea from Patty. Or just too much weight on it. So a tap there from Ruben Garrick on the 20, up towards the 30. 8.5 to go. Cherry Evans, now with Matt Lodge. Oof, stopped immediately. Stopped immediately. Cherry Evans on his right to Takiaho. Ethan Bullymore at the top of the hard-earned index right now. Hudson Young just below him. Surely Starling would be up there with the amount of minutes he's done. Anyway. Jazz Tavanga with a carry inside Raiders territory. Just about 8 minutes left. Third tackle for the Seagulls. Simpkin, right to Cherry Evans. Then to Waddell. Pops it up to Tommy Talau. Fourth tackle, 2 more to go. Cherry Evans, 35 out. Make that 30. Now with Brooks. Pops it up to Shop. Stopped on the 20. Inside the red zone now for the Seagulls on the last tackle. 7.5 to go. Simpkin, right to Cherry Evans. Will kick towards the back right. Stewart versus Saab. Saab bats it backwards. Collected by Chris. Room to run. And the stream has stopped for me. That's just fantastic. I currently do not know what's happening. Oh. So Chris now has the ball again. Okay, we're back. Stewart at dummy half. Hands it off to Hudson Young. Then to Strange. Forward from Young. It did look a bit awkward. So let's have a look at the end. So it is batted backward by Saab. Chris recovers it. He should have just straightened up. Hands it off to Weeks. Players coming across. That is Garrick coming across. Hands it off to Chris. I think Chris could have committed more. Chris could have committed more to that touchline, just belting it. And then Weeks had a bit more pace in him, I think, so he could have come across to help. So yeah, mistake there in the end from Hudson Young. Plays, it's now a scrum for the Seagulls on the 20. 6 minutes 20 to go. First tackle, Simpkin on his right to Tavanga. Just short of the 30. Oh, now he's on it. And a penalty for Manly shoulder charge from Corey Horsburgh. That is fair. Completely fair. Oh, it's kicking off now. It's kicking off. Would Horsburgh go for 10? Would he be done for the game, maybe? A report for Corey Horsburgh. NRL edits, yes, I do remember you. I certainly do. So Horsburgh could be done for a couple weeks. Just silly behaviour. So, 5 minutes 50 to go. Seagulls in possession. Inside Raiders territory. Waddell with the next carry. Up towards the 40. Now with Jazz Tavanga. Then to Brooks. Now Tom Trebojevic. Tolu Kula. Up towards the 30. Pumping his legs. And just over it as well. 5.5 to go. 25 metres out. Ruben Garrick at dummy half. Towards the middle now with Luke Brooks in centre field. Fakes the switch back, then out the back to Cherry Evans. Still shifting right. Seb Chris jumps the gun there, but it's with Saab. Makes a few extra metres. Still 25 metres out. Fourth tackle. Simpkin switches back to Matt Lodge. Oh, he smashed into 20 metres out. Plays it for Simpkin. Right to centre field. Left to Brooks. Chips the ball towards the back left. Savage collects it, comes down with it. That's an awkward landing. That's a very awkward landing. But he plays it. Well taken from Xavier Savage. Timoko with the next carry. Just short of the 10. Now with KO Weeks. Over the 10. About 15 out from their own try line. There's about to be 4.5 minutes left. This is probably all wrapped up All done for the Raiders, but just, will there be any more points? A try and a missed kick from the Seagulls would be perfect. Fourth tackle, slow play the ball from Josh Papali'i on the 20. Patty will go left to Strange. He's going to run it himself. Taking it over the 20. And just short of the 30. Now with Fogarty. Hits the belly of the ball. That is going to be a tough one to take. Bounces. That is beautiful. What a kick there from Jamal Fogarty. Collected by Ruben Garrick. Takes it up towards the 20. Just less than 4 minutes to go. They would have loved a 7-tackle set off the back of that, but they don't get one because it just bounced nicely. Tom Trbojevic takes it over the 20. A lot of work for the Seagulls to do. I don't know if they're going to find more points, but we'll see. Garrett goes right to Kula. Papali'i wraps him up. So does Owen Patty. Great defensive work. 3.5 minutes to go. Tommy Talau down the right edge. Up towards the 30. Towards the middle with Jazz Tavanga. Left to Brooks. Across to Kula. Then to Trbojevic. Short of the halfway line. So nearly 3 minutes to go. Seagulls not making too much territory. And there's a kick looking for touch there. Well taken from Savage. Gets a foot to the ball first, then recovers it. Could have dropped the ball, but just recovers it. 3 minutes to go. Actually has the ball in decent field position. So maybe the Raiders can actually find more points in this one. KO Weeks. Left to Strange. Knocks the ball backwards, did he? Looks a bit awkward there. I thought that went backwards, but that's going to be a knock-on from Ethan Strange. They're going to challenge it? Fair enough to challenge. But if they lose this, then Manly will get possession with just over 2.5 minutes to go right in front of the try line. Or, well, about 30 metres out. Hey mate, how are you? Who would you play at 6 for the Broncos? Some suggest Black debut, but he's not a 6. Hunt 7, maybe Josh Rogers in. Madden is an option 2. I reckon you probably just go with... Hunt 7. You could always do... Cobber went off, didn't he? Oh, I'm not sure then. I'm not sure. Madden at 7. No, Madden 6, Hunt 7, Walters 9. I think that's what you'd do. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. 10 metres out for the Seagulls. Second tackle. Simpkin on his right to Matt Lodge. Straight into Horsburgh. Stopped a few metres short of the try line. In front of the left post, Simpkin launched it right to Cherry Evans. Across to Brooks. Might have the space and numbers here, maybe. Saab near the touchline, almost in touch. Stopped just short. 2 minutes to go. 2 more tackles as well. Tommy Talau on his left to Trbojevic. Now with Jazz Tavanga. Not doing too much there. Last tackle for the Seagulls. All they've really been doing is just chipping the ball towards the corners. They've not really been spreading the ball much on the last tackle. But we'll see. Simpkin, left to Brooks. Then switches back to Trbojevic. Cherry Evans knocks the ball on, possibly. Yeah, Cherry Evans knocks the ball on. So, if the Raiders can stretch this time out, the Seagulls might not get the ball back again. So yeah, I got the... Looks like I might have the 28 correct for the Raiders, but Manly not quite getting enough points. I was really tempted to go with 12 as well, actually. I was really tempted. I just chose not to. Chose not to. So 1 minute 9 to go. Xavier Savage. Patty at dummy half. Looks like Savage is okay. He's not perfect, but he's okay. Patty on his left to Horsburgh. Up towards halfway. 40 seconds to go. Fourth tackle. So it looks like the Seagulls might get one more go. Strange will be stopped. 35 out from the try line. 30 seconds to go. Last tackle. Slow play the ball. Patty, now with Fogarty. Will kick towards the back left. Plenty of height. Trebojevic to go up. Takes it very, very cleanly. Nicely done. So 15 seconds to go. Slow play the ball. Will the Seagulls try and go for anything here? Maybe. Saab launches it left. Now with Shop. 5 seconds to go. And that is going to be full time. Well done from the Raiders. It was tricky. It was looking pretty tricky in like the start of that second half, but they were clean. They were clinical. Great moments from Strange. Fogarty's kicking was excellent. The power through the middle was great from the Raiders. There's a lot of pressure that Savage to deal with in the corner. He dealt with it pretty well. But yeah, all around, solid effort from the Raiders. The Seagulls, just on the end of sets, just didn't really do much. So, yeah, it was quite a poor end to sets from the Seagulls. Thanks for the stream. Hope you enjoy your movie at the cinema. Thank you very much. That's if I do go. I need to have a look what's on. But thank you. Friday 22nd, beg you do Panthers versus Raiders. It depends what time. I'll have to see. So Raiders are on a bye next week. Storm versus Panthers, I can do that one. 9 a.m. Not sure. It's possible, let's say 50-50. Panthers Raiders 6 p.m. now feels like a shame, but in hindsight, who thought Raiders would be good this year? True. Very true. So, yeah, comfortably done there from the Raiders in the end. Seagulls gave them a good challenge here and there. Patches throughout the game. But, yeah, the Raiders were too good. Seagulls have still got some work to do offensively. They've got a lot of work to do. But yeah, there'll be no more streams tonight because I'm at the Halliwell Jones for the Warrington vs Wigan game. But to remind you of the rest of the streams this weekend, I will be doing the Bulldogs vs Warriors tomorrow. That's 10:20 a.m. UK, 7:20 p.m. Canberra. Then I'm doing Hull KR vs Castleford. That's at 2:45. And then Huddersfield vs Catlands. That's at 5:15. That's going to be the worst game of the week. And then Sunday the 10th is Hull FC vs Salford at 2:45. That's going to be potentially a massacre, but we'll just see what happens. Okay. Right. So I'll call it a day there. Thank you very much for stopping by. It is greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your weekend if I don't see you. Toodle pip.